Hello everyone, Alchemist here. Thank you very much for tuning in. I truly appreciate your support. Today is a tarot reading for you, and it's going to be a yes or no question. So I want you to think of something in your mind. Think of a question. Think of something you've been going through recently, and make sure that it's important because the reading is going to be quite elaborate. So think of a subject that's been bugging you. It could be about a person or about a situation or about anything in your life. And I'm going to invite you to pick one of these two piles right here. So feel free to pick the pile that resonates the most with you. And this is a collective reading, so you can also listen to both piles because there might be messages in both piles that can help you. And I'm going to start with the pile on my left hand right here. So think about a yes or no question about an important subject in your life, and let's see what the universe has for you. Soromol indrech laros kosh kiferen, zantras kileremen tohmak rok leref sindras kosh kimechen zarosh kiren. The High Priestess. We're starting with a major arcana. And the answer is a yes. It is very interesting even what showed up to me here. The High Priestess followed by the Five of Earth or the Five of Pentacles. And then the Two of Pentacles. The answer is yes to whatever you've been thinking about. Because this thing that's preoccupying your mind will lead you to knowledge, to learn new things, new skills, new wisdom. It's the right path for you to become the High Priestess. It's the right path for you to become who you are. But are you willing to go on this path even though money is not going to be very prominent? The Five of Pentacles. You might struggle with money. You might find it hard to manifest money. Whatever you're thinking about is not something that's going to make you money per se. It's not going to attract a lot of abundance. But it's good for you. It's good for your soul. It's good for who you are or who you are meant to be. So the universe here is saying, are you willing to sacrifice money for becoming the High Priestess? Because in your mind, what you were thinking about has to do with financial abundance as well. So the universe is saying, yes, this is a good path, but don't expect money from it. And we have the Two of Pentacles that came up reversed, meaning that if you want to become the High Priestess and reach that high level of wisdom, you have to keep doing the work. You have to keep doing exactly what you're doing without any expectations. Let's pull a couple more cards and see what the universe has to say about this situation. We have the Death card. This is going to require you to go through an alchemical transformation journey where you have to pass through the stages of alchemy. You have to go through the black stage, the nigredo, and then to the albedo, and then to the rubedo where you reach your Philosopher's Stone. It's going to be a long journey. You're choosing a path that's going to change your life upside down. And you have to become ready to let the old go. Your old self, who you are, has to die. It's not supposed to be there anymore. And it's represented by this card right here, the Major Arcana, the Death card. All of these skeletons, they represent the old you, and you have to leave them behind because before they were confused and lost in this maze. That's where humanity is nowadays. Everyone is lost. Everyone is inside a maze. No one knows where they're going, and they keep hitting dead ends because they're inside a maze. They don't know what's the right path for them. They're not on a straight path. And when you hit a dead end, that means you have to go back. And it's even worse. What if what you've been going through has a lots of challenges, and then you hit a dead end? That means you have to go back and you might come across those challenges again. That's how life works. It's like a maze. When you declare to the universe that you want to transform and you want to become your highest version, you die and you leave this skeleton behind, which is the old you. And you start changing. You change your habits. You change how you think, how you speak, how you carry yourself, how you talk. Not in an arrogant way. No, we're talking about in a spiritual way. Watch the words you say. You can't say bad words anymore. You can't curse anymore. Can you do that? It's hard. It's hard. It's very hard. I've been there, done that. If you're used to cursing all the time, it's hard to cut it from your life. If you're used to a toxic habit, it's going to be hard to cut it from your life. But that's going to get you out of this maze and rise to the black stage, the darkening, the nigredo stage, where you have to walk in the darkness, but you have to embrace your darkness before you can walk in the darkness. And that's where you're going to shed all of your old habits, old layers. And these things are not good. They're toxic habits. They're bad things. Talking behind people's backs. Cursing. Drinking. Eating unhealthy. Destroying your body. Destroying your soul. Engaging in stupid, useless talks and conversations. Hanging out with people that keep you stuck in lower frequencies. These are all things that you have to leave behind. And then you start rising above. And then you go through the stages. And then you reach your highest state. And I know that this has become alchemical because the deck is alchemical in nature. But this is the right path for you. And the answer is yes to your question. Even though it does not have money, are you willing to sacrifice money for your golden state? I remember there was someone who asked before, well, Seth, why can't we have both? Reaching our philosopher's stone, becoming our higher self, and also manifesting lots of wealth and riches. And the answer to that is that's not how it works. And again, I'm always going to tell you and teach you what's not popular. This is the unpopular opinion, because in the spiritual community or New Age community, people are going to tell you, no, you can't manifest abundance. It's up to your vibrations. If your vibrations are high, you can manifest so much abundance, and you have to vibrate at a higher frequency, and then you can start attracting money, the law of attraction. I know that stuff. I've been there, I've done that, I've read books about that in my early journey. And that's where everyone starts when they have a spiritual awakening. But with the experience, you start to realize that a lot of that stuff is not true. Money has nothing to do with your vibrations. But spiritual gurus say it has to do with your vibrations. That's what everyone says. Well, I'm Seth Alchemist, and I'm saying that money has nothing to do with your spiritual vibrations. There are incredible people out there who are kind, generous, loving, brilliant, intelligent, and they struggle with money, and they don't have money, and they do exist. Money has to do mainly with karmic retribution. There is energy at play, don't get me wrong. There is energy at play, but money is just the outcome of what you manifest in your life. If you do good, that good might come back to you in money form. It might come back to you in new knowledge, in new wisdom. It might come back to you in a new opportunity, it might come back to you in feeling happy, feeling great, feeling grateful, feeling blissful. And sometimes it might manifest as money. All of the sages of ancient past, none of them was filthy rich. None of them was filthy rich. All of the sages, I'm talking about the sages, not the millionaires and billionaires that have existed. I'm talking about the sages, the spiritual sages that have existed before, and none of them was filthy rich. The Buddha was a prince. He was filthy rich at birth, up until he left his castle and he left his royalty. So the answer is that wealth and riches and spiritual enlightenment, they don't go together. Because spiritual enlightenment is of a divine nature. Money has earth frequency. It's very dense. Money only comes from earth. When you die and go to the spirit realm, there is no money. Money only exists here on earth. It's just a tool. That's all there is to it. There's nothing spiritual about money. Nothing. And all of the gurus who tell you money is spiritual, your vibrations will attract money because your vibrations are not high, and that's how money manifests and all of that stuff. And I've read tons of books about it before, and you probably have as well. That lures you, and I struggled with that for years myself. For years and years and years. And usually the very, very, very few people, the very few gurus or teachers, they're the 1% or even less than 1% who are extremely rich will tell you, if your vibrations are high, you will become rich. And the reason why you're stuck and you're poor is because your vibrations are not high enough. See, they're luring you. You're being lured. Now you start doubting yourself. You start doubting your spirit. You start doubting your whole journey because you're not manifesting money. Be aware of that, because this is how it works. And I'm digressing a little bit here, but just hear me out. The money that is meant for you at every moment in your life, at every age, at every stage, will be there for you, depending on, can you finish my sentence? On your karma. On your karma. That's how it works. And the people who are blessed with millions and billions of dollars, there are certain things about the universe that we don't understand, that you can't understand. Maybe these people, and I've said this in other videos, they are being tested. I'm gonna give you billions of dollars in this lifetime. What are you gonna do with it? And you guys see what billionaires do with the money in this day and age. You guys see it. I don't need to explain that. Look at the kind of world we're living in. I don't want to be in any billionaire's shoes. I don't envy them. Because the amount of karma they are gonna gather is, I don't want to be in their place. And you probably don't want to as well. Maybe they're being tested. Or maybe they have done in their past lives some incredible amounts of good deeds that allowed them to have so much money in this lifetime. But the equation still applies. What are they gonna do with that money in this lifetime? And you see what people are doing, the celebrities, the actors, the singers, the businessmen, the entrepreneurs, the billionaires, these people who have hundreds of millions and millions, and now it's becoming in the trillions for some people. And you see what they're doing to the world. They're destroying it. They're regressing it. They're influencing it in such a horrible way. Trust me, you don't want to be part of that, because the karma that they're going to have after spending that wealth. Oh, they're going to spend that wealth because it was allowed to them by the universe. The universe allowed them to have that. So they're going to have it. Oh, but the karma that's awaiting them, I don't want to even imagine it. Temperance, this path which you're thinking about, it's going to require a lot of time, a lot of trial and error, a lot of studying, a lot of researching, because it's about becoming who you are. We're not talking about money here. That's why the universe is telling you this is not going to have money. You want divine spiritual enlightenment so you don't have to come back as a human being and go to higher realms or even transcend this whole cycle of samsara. Do you want that? Or do you want money? I think the answer is quite clear. The universe is telling you, you will have the money that you need, but don't expect the riches of the world. The treasures of the pharaohs were buried with them, and they still exist. Those treasures are in museums. They didn't go anywhere. And those treasures, they are worth nowadays hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're in museums all around the world. My question to you is, did these treasures go to the spirit realm with the pharaohs? Did they go? No, they're still here. That's a proof that money is not important for your spiritual journey. I know it's important for your rent, for your car payments, for your loans, for your mortgage, for your food. I understand that. I have those things too. I have those things. I understand that. But is it important for your spiritual growth? The answer is no. Time. It's going to take you time to become who you are, but you have to understand that there's a sacrifice to be made. Before I embarked on this path, I had a 9 to 5, 6 figures. I was living it up in normal standards until I realized that was not living it up. That was just being miserable. I'm talking for myself. I'm not talking for other people. And I had to leave it all behind, give it all away up. And in the beginning, when I used to tell my story to some few people, they thought I was crazy. But I'm going to ask one question and see, just to clarify. I asked, is this the right path for you? Your question, whatever you asked about, is it the right thing for you? The answer is yes. We have the 6 of Pentacles. So you're going to learn to connect to the earth element, to darkness. You're going to also attract abundance in your life. But you're going to learn equanimity, equilibrium, balance. And that's going to bring you a different kind of abundance. Sometimes it's going to come in money format. As I have mentioned it earlier, I'm not saying that this path is going to make you broke. No. It's going to manifest money for you sometimes whenever you need it. The universe knows when you're going to need the right amount of money. And this path is going to help you control your emotions, calm down, harness the energy of the master. The master is always calm. The master is always still. Stillness is the representation of spirit. That's why when you meditate, you're still. You're quiet. We appreciate rocks, right? We like rocks and crystals. Why? Because they're still. Because they're quiet. Because they don't move. But we love them and we can sense their energies, even though they don't move. At least to our eyes, they don't move. But in the spirit realm, their energies are unbelievable. So this path is going to help you calm your soul and connect to spirit. See the air element. This is the sigil for the air element. And your energy is rising above to the air. So you're going to learn how to feel spirit, how to sense it, how to connect to it. Because your goal, which was the first card, was to become Isis, the high priestess, the goddess of the divine feminine, of the moon, of beauty, of the spirit realm. And it is the high priestess, but here it's written Isis. She's also Artemis. She's Diana. And this is what I have for this pile. I'm going to move on to the other pile that I was holding with my right hand. Solorom undrach mikresh korafen zilren toch maskelere tason indach rescularemen. Okay, interesting. Okay, for you guys, it's a big no, whatever you're thinking about. Because, by the way, all the cards came up reversed. And we have the 10 of air, the 9 of fire, and the ace and the page of fire, all reversed. You're not supposed to move forward or go through with what you're thinking about. This is not good for you. This path that you're thinking about in your mind right now, it's not going to activate your powers, your gifts and abilities, and it's not going to liberate you. It's going to keep you stuck in your jail, in your old habits, in your toxic old habits and behaviors. It's going to keep you stuck where you are. And it's not going to open up any new doors for you. To even a glimpse I'm sensing of becoming who you are, even that little just spark or intuition that make you feel like you want to try something and then that leads you to becoming who you are. This path has none of that for you. None of it. It's going to keep you exactly where you are, unfortunately. But let's elaborate more. Tetros mitrech zan karros leresh munach ikrafen zolochmon idrak sukalerefen. We have the lovers, a major arcana. The 10 of wands upright. And the 10 of water, the 10 of cups, 10, 10. Lovers, 10 and 10. Look at this beautiful assortment. This question you asked is quite complicated in nature. Because we have the lovers here. And it is revolving around someone you love, someone you care about. It's not necessarily romantic. It could be anyone in your life that you love, that you care about. It could be even a best friend or a very close friend of yours. I see here 2 cards that are opposites. We have the 10 of water and the 10 of fire. 2 opposite elements, fire and water. And this is the representation. It's like you're in the middle. One side has fire, one side has water. And it's a difficult situation because on one hand, you're thinking that this is going to bring you happiness, that this might bring you the best things that you desire in your life, or you make your dreams come true. But on the other hand, this can give you the opposite results. It can give you a hellish kind of life, full of struggle and pain. And you don't know which way to go. It's like 2 different choices. But your decision is involving someone you really care about. Because maybe this path or whatever you're asking about, you have to do it together with that other person. But maybe you're conflicted because one person, maybe you want the water and the other person wants the fire. Or maybe you want the fire and you don't know if it's good or bad for you. and the other person wants the water. So you're not on the same path. You're not aligned perfectly. Let's ask more about this. The water, Ace of Water. The path of the water is definitely the best one for you, and it's the one that you need to make. The Six of Swords. And we have Justice. The bottom of the deck, we have Strength as well. Another major arcana. Justice and Strength. And I'm going to include it. So the key here to make the right decision for your situation. First of all, we agreed that the answer is no for whatever you're thinking about. So that's out of the way. This path, whatever you were thinking about, is not good for you. So what you're supposed to do is follow what brings you peace and happiness. What makes you happy? This path, not this path. We don't want the fire here, because that card represents being stuck, being enjailed, and not liberating yourself. Here, you have to start something new. It's something new. It's not something that you were doing in your life. It's something that you need to start from scratch, a new journey, a new door that you open, a new path. And that's going to bring you happiness. And that's what you're supposed to do. Regardless of that person that the lovers that earlier came up, you have to follow your bliss and your happiness. And the universe is going to guide you towards that. And that's why we had this Justice card here. And that's why we had this Justice card at the bottom. If you learn how to listen to your intuition and to the signs and synchronicities that are sent to you from Spirit. Because this new path that you're supposed to embark on, where you're supposed to feel happy, tune in with your emotions. If you feel for a second that this new thing is not going to make you happy, it's not it. It has to make you happy. When you visualize it, when you think about it, you have to feel so happy. Zero anxiousness, zero worry, just happiness. If that's the case, then that's the path for you. It's going to lead you to magical lands, to adventures, to becoming stronger, the major arcana of strength, to meeting the dragon of wisdom, and maybe a real dragon as well, in the underworld, in the darkness, but also reaching the light, and also connecting to the moon and to the sun. This path is gonna activate your gifts and abilities. It's gonna activate your magic, so you can become who you are. What you were asking about is gonna keep you stuck. If you embark on a completely different path and you open that new door, that's where you're going to find your true magic. And that's going to help you connect to Spirit, to reach the higher realms, the higher skies. Connect to new gods, goddesses, deities, spirits that you have never met before. All of this is awaiting you in this new path. It's a new door. It's not on your mind right now. That's what I'm sensing. So give it some time and it will show up to you. Let's pull some more cards. Zontros mich resh kileremen zokramoleren dach refkis emeren utrech. The Eight of Pentacles. This new path, and you have to choose it wisely. This one will have abundance for you. Abundance will flow easily to your life. You don't have to struggle, you don't have to suffer, and you don't have to try too hard, because abundance is just going to be there for you. And it's going to help you embrace your darkness as well. We have the Knight of Water reversed. The Three of Wands reversed. The energy shifted here a little bit. And then the King of Earth, or the King of Pentacles. The energy I'm sensing here from this other path is that everything is just going to flow in it. It's not going to require you to try hard or work hard. And you don't even need to go on a long journey with a lot of experiences and a lot of trials. I sense that this path is almost like a shortcut in your case scenario, and this is very rare. This doesn't happen to a lot of people, because most people have to go through journeys of transmutation, of transformation, before they get to where they need to be. For you, it's like the moment you open this door, the moment you open this portal, it is a portal. This is not even a door. The moment you open it, you're just going to reach your king status or queen status. You're going to bypass all of the steps that are required usually to reach the king status, to reach kingdom. You're going to bypass them and you're going to get there directly. All of the trials and tribulations, experimenting with different things and trying this, trying that. It's like the universe is just going to take you directly to your throne. And that's rare. That's very rare, trust me. And it has to do with your good karma, because your good karma is going to earn you that. It's going to earn you that shortcut, that jump to your throne without going through lots of hardships. That's why these two cards are reversed here. That these two cards represent a lot of work, a lot of adventure, a lot of trying different things and going through a lot of life situations and experiences, but you're gonna bypass all of that because the universe is allowing it. That's very interesting. I was not expecting this kind of energy, and that's why I said the energy shifted. It's like the moment, and that's why the abundance came up before this pull. It was the Eight of Pentacles. It's like the moment you open up this door, you're just going to be blessed with abundance, with wealth, and then you're going to sit on your throne. Everything's going to be given to you. It's like the energy of King Solomon when he prayed to his God. Because you know there are many gods, there are not just one God. The God of the Abrahamic religions is just one of the gods. I'm veering away a little bit of the discussion here, but it's just to remove confusion. The Abrahamic religions, they have this God that they talk about. It's just one of the gods. So when King Solomon prayed to his God for wealth, and he just gave him wealth. He was born a prince because he's the son of David, right? But then he just had extreme wealth. And not only extreme wealth, he had superpowers like controlling the demons or daimons, in addition to being given wisdom and other things. Well, we don't know. We don't know if that's wisdom. Because there are other stories about King Solomon, and I've talked about this in my very, very old videos, where he gave up all of that for some women. But there's no proof. There's no proof if that story is true or not in the Testament of Solomon, because there's this book called the Testament of Solomon. It's a very ancient book. It talks about the story of Solomon, and it is said that it was written by King Solomon himself. But there is no proof that shows that it was written by King Solomon himself. But in this Testament of Solomon, it said that at the end of Solomon's life, he gave up everything for some women, to sleep with some women. I'm not going to go into the details of the story, but the true masters always question everything. Don't believe anything you hear until you question it and research it. Nothing is set in stone. question even the things that I'm telling you right now. But the energy feels like that. It feels like spirit or the universe is just gonna bless you. Just gonna bless you. And that's amazing. That's incredible. If that happens to you, congratulations. Because what takes people lifetimes to accomplish, you're just gonna have it manifest in your life. Not to say that you don't deserve it, but your karma brought you that. Because the universe is always fair. Always. And one last card for this pile. We have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Meaning that, oh, and look, the bottom of the deck, a major arcana, the Hangman reversed. This other path, not only it's gonna take you to your kingdomship, but it's gonna get you out of the darkness you've been in for very long. Although darkness is beautiful and it was necessary, but this new thing that's gonna manifest in your life, if you go to it, by the way, because you have this opportunity here, you have to go to it first. You're going to be guided to go to it, but you have to make the first step. But if you go there, everything's going to become clear, crystal clear. Everything will make sense, and you're finally going to get it. And that's why you're not going to be hanged anymore, because this hanging position is tough. It's very rough, especially for your mind, for your brain, because all of the blood goes down there and you're stuck and you can't even think properly. And that's where you are right now, probably. But if you choose this other path, you're going to stand on your feet and everything will make sense to you. And you will rule your kingdom with peace, happiness, harmony, making the world a better place. And I'm called to stop here. Thank you very much. I hope this reading resonates with you. Let me know in the comment section. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next reading. Azmoch, liren, shoros, lirech, zon, karef, nizech, ay marosh.